Alrighty guys, so in this video we are going to be walking through the report method. So by now you've already mapped out your transformation or your niche in your foundational copywriting workbook, okay? And they could be hypotheses or they could be answers from your current customers. So if they are hypotheses or you're starting from scratch, we're going to be using the report method to validate the answers in the spreadsheet. And this is so key. So let's jump into the report method. I have a few tabs open. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit. Okay. So we're going to jump into the report method. This is really important. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to be collecting data. Okay. You're going to be collecting data from each prospect and using the information to craft a market or trend report that you'll be offering the prospect in exchange for the cooperation and insights. So we're going to be doing an old-fashioned trade here. We're going to be researchers. We're going to be at the ground level doing research, and then we're going to be trading our research for the prospect's insights. Okay, and this is how we're going to be getting the answers to the questions that we have in our spreadsheet, okay? So you can think of yourself as a journalist seeking answers to your groundbreaking story. You're in research mode, you're trying to separate the signal from the noise, and you're gonna be using these initial contacts and interviews as prospects for later when you have your transformation and your solution ready to present, okay? So you're going to be ranking your answers based on urgency, and you're going to be answering a few questions. We're going to give you a template as well. And we're going to give you two methods to the report method and some variations. So pay attention. This is super important. Follow this to a T if you can, and be super disciplined while going through this because it'll pay off in dividends, okay? So first thing that we want to do is we're going to take a look at our niche. If we're going to go after like B2B, we're going to go after CEOs, founders in the B2B vertical with like a certain amount of employees. What we want to do is we want to use like LinkedIn to help us find these people. So we'll go over to the LinkedIn Sales Navigator, okay? So we'll jump into the Sales Navigator. If you don't have Sales Navigator, you can log in. I think there's a free trial for the Sales Navigator, okay? So let's jump into the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Okay, and we're going to do a search. So we have like a search here that I've already come up with. You can search for the geography, the relationship, so second, third degree, the industry, the vertical, the company headcount, and then you can see the title here. Okay, the title and the seniority level. Okay, so what you want to do is you want to take a look at people in this, in the niche, and this search corresponds to this top part up here. Okay, so then the next step that you want to do is you're going to, in the very beginning when you're starting from scratch, you're going to be looking for a shared connection, okay? So look at this guy. This is a stealth AI biotech startup, okay? We're going to be looking for shared connections, someone who we're really close with, okay? So some of your connections won't be they won't be close. Like with LinkedIn, it's not really like your close connections anymore, but you do have close connections. So you want to look at a shared connection and see if there's somebody who's connected to that person of interest. Okay. And so you can just find, and you just need a couple of these. You just need like one or two people who are in good situations, and you just need one connection to get them. And so what you're going to do is you're going to send the referral, this template. So we're going to jump into the report method referral template. So we're going to do, let's say Sam is connected to Alex. What I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Sam. I'm going to open this up here, and I'm going to send a message to Sam. Okay. And I'm going to say, use this template. Hey, Sam, I hope all is well. I'm crafting a report that identifies common trends, problems, and best practice solutions for CEOs of B2B SaaS companies with at least 10 employees. I noticed that you're connected to, what was the guy's name? Alexander Levin. Okay. I noticed that you're connected to Alexander. Are you able to introduce us? I'd love to feature this person in the report. Please let me know if this is possible. Thanks in advance. Okay. So that is just a quick message that you're going to send to Sam to introduce you to Alex. Okay. Alexander. And if Sam is your friend, then you're going to be able to do that with ease. Okay. So you want to send at least 20 a day using personalized emails and LinkedIn messages. And you can do this. You can dangle a podcast, a book. We have people who are super successful with a book, an industry report. It's just simple and effective. And you can also incentivize a referral with a gift card or something like that. You can just be like, hey man, I noticed you were connected to Alex. I'd love an introduction, and let me know where to send this, these tickets or something like that. Okay. If you know the person. Okay. So you can do that and you can incentivize, but you just got to be careful. Some people can't, take favors like that. But if it's just an intro to like another friend, that's usually fine. Okay. So once you receive the referral, you're going to use another template to line up an interview with the person of interest. So let's say Sam comes back and says, yeah, hey, let me introduce you to Alex. And then you message Alex with this second template and you say something like this. So, hey, Alex, hey, this is Nick from Sales Process IO. As you remember, I was referred to you by Sam. I'm crafting a report that identifies trends, problems, and best practices for B2B founders over 10K. Are you open to having a 30-minute interview, during which time we can cover some of the challenges and insights we've already collected so far? I'll ask for your feedback in our comments. In exchange, I'll be happy to share where the trends in the industry are going and give you early access to analyze data. Please let me know. We can arrange a phone call or a visit. Okay. So that is the first one. So if you have a referral, the easiest one to get is the referral. Okay. You guys should be able to do this. It's not that hard. So once you do a couple interviews, so you're going to be doing the interview. Okay. You're going to conduct at least 20, but once you do your first one or two, okay, and you're going to be using these cheat sheets, you can use another variation of the email. So instead of going direct for the referral, you can go direct to the prospect by leveraging some of the other names. So you can say, hey, it's Nick from Sales Process IO. I'm crafting a report that identifies the problems and the best practice solutions for B2B founders over $10,000. I've already spoke to Alex. Okay. What company was Alex at? I've already spoke to Alex at Stealth AI Startup. Okay. And they provided me with some interesting insights that you might find useful. Are you open to having a quick 30-minute phone interview, during which time we can cover some of the challenges and insights we've already collected so far? I'll ask for your feedback and comments. In exchange, I'll be happy to tell you where the trends in this industry are going and give you early access to the analyzed data. Please let me know. We can arrange a phone call or a visit. So what you're doing is once you have your first couple interviews, you're going to be leveraging them to get your next interviews. Okay. So you want to get at least 20 interviews, and you can conduct these interviews in person or via Zoom. You can just send them an invite and do a Zoom conference call. And then you're going to be on the call. You're going to be using this cheat sheet of questions here that are available to you. Okay. So here are the questions that you can ask, and these correspond to the answers. So when you're asking these questions, be as polite as possible, take as detailed notes, record the call. Okay. So how are you currently spending your day? What metrics are you responsible for? What tools are you using? What does the current landscape look like? What books are you guys reading? And what are the goals in the next 12 months? And you can just say, like, this can be completely anonymous too. You can say this can be an anonymous interview. Okay. So keep detailed notes, record the interview calls. Don't filter any customer feedback. You want to keep it raw. You want to be refining, and you want to be refining your answers as you do more interviews. And so what's going to happen is you're going to have all this data, and you're just going to be you're combing through the data, and you're trying to identify the problem. So you're trying to identify what tools are using, and then you're trying to identify the problems that they have, and you're trying to rank the problems in terms of urgency. That is the key thing. Okay. So another method of doing this is you can just blast people. If you already have a customer list, or you can even do just a random blast. You can hook up. I don't really recommend this, but you can mine a list of prospects using LinkedIn or Lead Leaper or something like that, or you can buy a list of prospects, and then you can connect that list of prospects to a service called SendGrid. Okay. SendGrid. All right. And we have customers who blasted, they connect to an email to SendGrid servers, and they blast like 10,000 people. And what they do is they say, hey, I'm conducting an anonymous survey for like one of the examples was like principals at schools. So there's an anonymous survey for principals. And it was like a 20 question survey that was anonymous. At the end of the survey, there was the option to put the email address in. Okay. And what they were able to do was they had like 250 responses from this blast, and half of them put their email address in. Okay. And they were able to determine the problems in the market and the relative urgency. And so there were things that were discovered using this method from the customer who did this, that they would have never known. They realized that like principals, they had these feelings of loneliness. They felt that they really wanted to help the kids, but they were constrained by budget. Like one of the biggest things was budget. Okay. So that's another method that you can use. It's the anonymous blast. Okay. And you can use tools like Jotform. Okay. To put together your survey. Okay, this Jotform tool. If you're blasting, you can use a SendGrid. Okay, and then I just dump everything into a Google spreadsheet. Okay, so here are some keys. So the answers you're looking for, they won't be found by reading articles written by others, since others don't have the same intent as you. So you're not going to find the answers to these questions by reading articles. Okay, there's no one besides like a entrepreneur who is going to go to the level of detail necessary. Most stuff that's published is wrong. Most people, even most scientific studies, they're wrong. They can't be duplicated. Okay. So you don't want to base your hypotheses on like third party or like you're kind of playing like this broken telephone game. You don't want to base your hypotheses and your whole business and your messaging on third party stuff, like what you read in a report or whatever. You want to do your own research to make sure you're on the money. Okay. Because the risk is the cost of being wrong is so high. The risk is so high. Okay. So the key insights will be found at the ground level, talking to real customers and real prospects. Okay. So you'll start to know that your answers are valid when the prospects, they start repeating themselves and the folks being interviewed are alarmed at how much you know about them. You're going to create a deep sense of trust and rapport with the prospects. And it could take you 1 to 2 months to do this, but it can be done in a matter of weeks if you have enough at bat. So all you need to do is be relentless and disciplined with your interview process. Remember that the more accurate your answers are, the easier it's going to be to create a valid solution. Okay. So you can do this method if you're just starting from scratch, or you can also do this method if you're coming up with a new offer, if you're doing like intrapreneurship. You can do this method. You can interview your customers if you already have case studies and you want to get the information. Okay. But this report method is freaking awesome. It's very, very straightforward. Okay. And it works really, really well. It just takes a little bit of discipline. And again, if you can't create a report that's valuable, how the heck are you going to create a product that's valuable? So this is 1/10. This is maybe 1/20th the level of difficulty as creating a product. So if you can do this well and you can craft a valuable report for the niche, then you're going to get resonance. And again, it needs to be niche specific. That's the key. You're going to be the only person in town writing a report for this niche. Okay. They're going to feel super special because you're the only person doing it. Okay. So that is the report method. At the end of the day, you're going to be coming up with these problems. And then we're going to be, once we have the problems identified, that's when we're going to be coming up with the transformation, which is essentially the inverse of the problems. Okay. We're going to be coming up with that transformation, and then we're going to be coming up with the price. And then we're going to be coming up with the features. Okay. So the transformation and the price is covered in the mock-up method. And then the features and the case studies are covered in the engineering method. Okay. So that is the report method. This video is super important. Watch this again and again, share with your team, and execute this to spec, and you'll start to see the answers come flying in. All right, guys. So hopefully this is helpful, and we will see you in the next video.